we'll take off the handcuffs, okay? But
yeah, I don't have a statement. I don't want to be detained in these handcuffs like this. I'm probably if I haven't committed a crime or done that.
Okay. All right. Give us.
I'm hoping in your future that once you're done with your federal prison time, that you can be really successful on federal probation and have a really bright future where you can reach your full potential in every aspect of your life. Best of luck to you, Mr. Golden.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have, if I could excuse.
You may.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all.
NBA YoungBoy's lawyers recently shared some good news. The rapper could be out as early as 2025. They explain that while he was given a 23-month sentence, the time he served in a previous case in Louisiana will count toward this one. That means he might be released in just 3 months. The day of his sentencing was quite wild, too. In the middle of the court proceedings, a fan broke in and yelled, "Free NBA YoungBoy." He was writing letters to judges, quote, asking for them to remove his case, saying, quote, "And with freedom, the person can yell." It's clear the support for him is strong.
Free YB, man. Free YB.
Everyone needs to stay muted. Okay.
Stop. Free YB.
All right. Mr. Golden's case has already been called. He's done with court today. For those of you interested, everyone keep yourselves muted.
The YoungBoy had a funny reaction when a fan stormed into the courtroom during his hearing, smiling and laughing at the unexpected interruption. On March 10, 2021, when the fan was arrested and charged with 2 serious crimes: firearm possession by a convicted felon and having an unregistered firearm. It turns out the fan had been part of a music video shoot in a neighborhood where YoungBoy and his crew were dancing on top of a car, waving guns around. When the fan was arrested and put in his place of confinement, his car was disembarked and arrested for the violation of a firearm and having an unregistered firearm. A nearby elderly woman, alarmed by what she saw, called the police. Since the cops already knew the young man had a long criminal history, they quickly identified him and took him into custody. Quite the wild moment, right?
Footage of the officer who put the cuffs on YoungBoy back in September during that music video that was shown, and it was very interesting because the cop comes right up to him, you know, whatever, he puts the cuffs on him, and then YoungBoy's reaction is kind of hilarious. I thought it might be interesting for y'all. He was like, "Yo, big dog, man, what you doing, man? Why you putting these cuffs on me?" That's what he was calling the cop. He was calling the cop big dog. He's like, "Big dog, you up right now. I didn't do nothing. You could search me. I got nothing on me." Cop doesn't listen. Cop puts him in and the whole time YoungBoy's like, yo, man, what you doing, man? Big dog, why? And it really goes to show you a lot about this case. YoungBoy didn't think he did anything wrong. He didn't think that they were going to go and start taking footage from music videos and said, "You held a gun in a music video and you're a felon and that's a federal felony and you're going to face 3 to 5 years. No, and it really shows you that these federal laws, as applied to kids like NBA YoungBoy from the hood, are extremely unfair and extremely punitive, and we need to take a good, long...
During the arrest, NBA YoungBoy's cameraman realized he might get into trouble for having a gun on him, so he tried to delete the video from the camera. But before he could, the police grabbed the camera and the video remained as evidence. The footage clearly showed YoungBoy holding a firearm. His lawyer argued that the police had taken the video illegally and tried to get it thrown out of court. Unfortunately, the court didn't agree. The federal appeals court rejected his appeal, meaning the video could still be used against him in court. YoungBoy's team didn't give up and tried to take the case to the Supreme Court. At first, a lower court sided with him, saying the video should be suppressed because it was taken in violation of his rights. But the government appealed, and the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals overruled that decision. Now, the video can be used in court, making it even harder for YoungBoy to fight the charges. It's been a tough ride, and things are looking challenging for him. The government is now allowed to use the video as evidence in NBA YoungBoy's case, which means he has a few choices ahead. One option is to appeal to the Supreme Court, and many people expect his team will go that route. Another option is to negotiate with the government, pointing out that he's already spent almost a year locked up and has been on house arrest for almost as long. They might be able to work out a plea deal and get him a lighter sentence. That means they may have more evidence to start putting him to death. Of course, he could also decide to take the case to trial and try to beat the charges, just like he's done in the past. Things really started to feel heavy in the courtroom when it became clear that YoungBoy's case wasn't going in his favor. The judge, clearly moved by the situation, gave him a heartfelt speech. He talked about how YoungBoy's talent had been wasted because of his struggles with addiction and how he hoped he'd find a better path once he's out. The judge wished him the best for the future, saying he'd seen many talented people make mistakes but still find success. Notably, the literary ear. It was a tough moment, but the judge's words gave a sense of hope for what could come next. The judge spoke to the young man with a tone of encouragement and concern, emphasizing his potential and the dangers of losing it. "You're a talented young man," the judge said. "I hope that after your time in federal prison, you can turn things around, succeed on probation, and build a bright future for yourself. You have the chance to reach your full potential, and I don't want to see that taken from you. Best of luck moving forward." With those words, the case was officially closed. The young man was sentenced to 27 months in prison and 5 years of probation, a tough sentence for someone so young. But the challenges didn't end there. He still faces charges for other crimes he committed in 2021. One of those charges stemmed from missing a court date, which led to a warrant for his arrest. The FBI began watching his home in Louisiana, waiting for him to make a move. When he finally left and got into his car, officers followed him. What started as surveillance turned into a high-speed chase down the highway, adding even more trouble to an already difficult situation. The chase started like any other. Officers signaled for the young man to pull over, and at first, he did. He stopped his car on the side of the road. But when an officer got out of his vehicle and started walking toward him, the young man made a split-second decision. He hit the gas and sped off down the highway. What followed was a wild pursuit. He weaved through traffic trying to shake the officers and eventually took a detour onto regular streets. Thinking he'd gained enough distance, he ditched his car and took off on foot. The situation took an unexpected turn when the young man sprinted through someone's backyard, a fan of his no less. The fan couldn't believe their eyes and managed to record the moment, the young man running with a cop hot on his heels. His escape didn't last long, though. A police K-9 picked up his scent and tracked him down. He was caught wearing skinny jeans, designer shoes, a jacket, and diamond chains. Not exactly the best outfit for a getaway. The young man managed to get out of jail, but it came at a high price. The charges against him, resisting arrest and leading police on a high-speed chase, were serious. To secure his release, he paid a $540,000 bond in cash. On top of that, he put up 2 properties worth over $1.5 million as collateral. As part of the deal, he has to wear an ankle monitor. But here's the surprising part. He's not on house arrest. The judge rules that while he must wear the monitor, he's free to travel. This decision is a big deal because it shows the California judge believes these conditions are enough to keep him in line. Now the spotlight shifts to Louisiana, where another judge is handling charges related to the same case. This Louisiana judge is looking at the same facts, the same charges, and applying the same federal law. While courts in different states might interpret things a little differently, they usually stay consistent on big decisions like this. If the California judge felt that $500,000, property collateral, and an ankle monitor were enough, it would be strange for the Louisiana judge to come to a completely different conclusion. It would be rare for a Louisiana judge to refuse bond or set no restrictions on the young man. Most people expect the judge to release him under conditions similar to those in California. Now that his firearms case is officially closed, he's lucky to have received just 27 months in prison. But even with this break, it's sad to see the downward spiral he's been on. Arrests, mugshots, and broken relationships with other rappers are becoming his story. Take Lil Cho, for example. He once supported him with a song called Free Young Boy, but Young Boy's habit of calling out other rappers ruined that connection. In 2022, things got worse when Young Boy dropped the track Bring the Hook, where he disrespected acting King Von, even after Von's death. The song caused a wave of backlash. Fans were upset, and so were other artists. Choppa, who had admired Young Boy before, didn't take kindly to the disrespect toward King Von. That marked the end of their connection. DJ Academics weighed in, saying Young Boy was on demon time, but Little Reese wasn't impressed. He fired back, saying, "That ain't no demon time, he just rapping like the rest of them." Lil Cho chimed in too, agreeing with Reese. The feud between Young Boy and Choppa heated up when Young Boy dissed Choppa in a song, rapping, "I bet your mama will be destroyed when we send you to God for making statements, choosing sides about my beef with them boys. I could say I saw it, you could say I was your favorite." These harsh words quickly got Choppa's attention, and he addressed the situation during an interview on Academics podcast. Choppa defended himself, saying, "There's always a lot being said about him, but to me, he's a real stand-up guy. It's just unfortunate how things turned out." He later spoke about it again in another interview with E-Dad, but this time he kept it lighthearted. "I thought it was funny, honestly," Choppa said. "It's not that deep. When it's just on the internet, it's all entertainment to me. Good song, nice bars. It's nothing serious." Meanwhile, rumors swirled about YoungBoy's crew being connected to J-Youngin's tragic death because of their past conflicts. But many pointed out that the claims didn't make sense, as J-Youngin had been a fan of YoungBoy at one point. Choppa sounded excited about working with YoungBoy, saying, "We're going to collaborate soon and represent our state. When it happens, it's going to be huge." But not every story in the rap world has such a positive vibe. The fallout between YoungBoy and J-Youngin shows just how quickly things can go wrong. It all started when J-Youngin posted a snippet of an unreleased YoungBoy song on Instagram. YoungBoy wasn't happy and immediately commented, "Delete this now. I don't even know how you got my song. I don't play like that." Instead of taking it down and apologizing, Jay doubled down. He posted a video saying, "I stand on everything. Nobody's gonna play with me or disrespect me." Things got messier when Jay mocked YoungBoy's reaction, saying, "You left that comment on my post, but I was laughing when your baby mama was with me." He even shared photos suggesting he had been spending time with one of YoungBoy's exes.